So obviously you're the new EFC lightweight champion. I think to start off with, I mean, how has that changed things in life? I mean, what value has it added to life so far?
The biggest value it added to my life is that everything I worked for actually paid off.
Yeah.
And like I previously said, now my son has got something to look up to, and
Yeah.
I mean and obviously I've got a lot of sponsors
Yeah.
that's looking at me at a different light now,
Yeah.
more seriously.
Sure.
So it did open a lot of doors for me.
Okay. And you say, I mean, the first thing that you said, it wasn't career-wise, it wasn't finance, it was about your little boy. I mean, what kind of value is that? I mean, does family come first for you?
Family's always first, because I never grew up having a family in my life. So that's why, for me, these two people is the most important.
Yeah.
I do everything I do in life is them first and then the rest.
Well, that's it. When we did our last interview with you, I mean, you said the hardest thing about preparing for the championship was that you saw your family 1 to 3 hours a day. I mean, that's a big sacrifice to make to win.
That's huge.
Yeah.
People, the crowd sometimes look at us and they think we just get in there and brawl.
Yeah.
They don't always think or recognize all the countless hours we spend preparing for such a fight.
Yeah.
We sacrifice time from family, time we will never get back.
Yeah.
I mean, no money in the world can buy family time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my perception on life.
Well, 100%. Eh? And Jackie, I mean, from your point of view, obviously you have to be one of the most supportive wives in the world. How important is it that Wentz is fighting, and why do you support it as strongly as you do?
It's his dream, he wants to do it, so I'll never tell him that he can't do it, and it makes him happy. So as long as he's happy, then I'm happy. And even though he's away from home, and it's not forever, I mean, the fighting career is not that long. So to stop him now, to tell him, I'd rather have you at home, but him be miserable, it's not worth it, because he enjoys it and he's so talented. So it would be a crime to stop him from competing.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, that's it. I mean, and are you involved with training at all? I mean, have you followed suits and do it from a fitness point of view or anything?
I trained with Troyden. He's my full-time job now. I don't really have the time. I like to train and stuff, but at the moment, like obviously having him, and he's almost 2, there's just no time for me, and I work full-time. So it's up early in the morning, there's no time to exercise. Then it's, full day at work, and then somebody's got to look after him at night. And Wentzel's training, so I look after him. So.
Well, okay, and I mean, obviously we always talk about the sacrifice and the commitment and all of that. I mean, how often do you train? What's the routine like, especially coming into a fight, a big fight like a title defense or a title fight?
Basically, I'll wake up 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll train for an hour, do like shadow boxing, light work
to
get the day going, and then I'll go to work. And wherever I get time and work, 10 minutes free or so, I still train there. Do push-ups and sit-ups and stuff.
Oh, really? So you're a trainaholic?
I'm a trainaholic.
Okay.
Then I basically come home in the afternoon after work, and then I see them for about an hour.
Yeah.
And then I shoot off to Toti to go slug it out for another 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I come back about 10, 11 at night.
Okay.
And then next morning is the
and
same.
Off we go, hey? So there's no rest.
Nah.
Okay, you train with Mornay Swanepoel, combat coaching?
That's correct,
He's obviously a really big name in mixed martial arts and any kind of martial arts, really. I mean, what's it like to train with guys like that? What's the deal with the gym?
Basically, Mornay is a huge part of my success.
Yeah.
He's been there from day one, guiding me. All my game tactics, Mornay and I sit together, we basically formulate a formula for every fight. Mornay believes in diversity. That's why you'll see all my 8 fights I've won 8 different ways.
Yeah.
So that I don't get known as just I can only do submissions, or I'm only stand up, or I'm only this.
Yeah. Keep it mixed.
Keep it mixed, and that's why Mornay is so. I mean, I consider Mornay one of the best in the business, and he's very passionate about the sport and about training. And what I also like about his gym, he runs it the way I'll run my family.
Yeah.
He's also family first, then the other stuff.
Yeah.
And he runs his gym as a family business.
Yeah.
So we almost feel like family while we're doing a tough combat sport,
Yeah. And I mean, we've been through this before, obviously the interviews that we've done with you, but I mean, what is it about MMA that you love so much?
As you know, I'm from a wrestling and judo background, so after a while those sports become one-dimensional, and you can only reach at the amateur level in South Africa,
Yeah.
you're top. And then you start paying big bucks to go overseas.
Yeah.
So I could never go overseas because of financial obligations. And where MMA gives me the other side of the sport,
Yeah.
that I get rewarded for the amount of time I put in.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid very well for something I love.
Yeah.
And apart from that is there's no better sport on earth.
Yeah.
There's no feeling that can explain walking down that cage, the butterflies, the anxiety. As a fighter, I couldn't tell you I was going to knock Leo out.
Yeah.
For instance, that's one fight.
Tell us
You
about
can't-
that. I mean, like you said, you don't want to be known as one particular thing. I mean, you are a wrestler. That's the bigger part of your arsenal. Knocking Leo out. I mean, have you actually digested that happened? You were the first person to knock Leo Glass out.
It's always lucky to beat someone in their own game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be dead honest with you. I didn't go there to knock Leo out.
Sure.
I've worked my overhand right to set up a takedown.
Yeah.
And it so happens that I went in with so much speed and power to set up my takedown that I knocked him out.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
it was never in my...
Wasn't part of the plan at
it
the
wasn't
stage.
part of my... See,
Yeah.
Monet told me I've got heavy hands.
Yeah.
And he asked me long now to start using my hands.
Well, you can believe him now, eh? Nothing else.
No, but like I said, I only do certain things in
Yeah.
certain fights.
Yeah.
I kept my hands out of my fights,
Yeah.
standing up for a reason.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get matched up with Leo sooner or later.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to...
You didn't want to give him a heads up, basically, on what was possible.
Yeah, so Leo basically
Yeah.
went into the fight knowing that I can't punch.
And
because
he does
watched-
now. Again, now he knows, as does the rest of South Africa. Eh?
So, even in my wrestling days, I never used to go balls to the wall into in
Yeah.
a fight, showing guys I can
Yeah.
do X, Y, Z in one fight. I always do only enough to win the fight,
Yeah.
and that's period.
Well, you don't need to do more, I suppose, eh?
Yeah.
And I mean, you were saying the feelings walking down the walkout, your song starts to play, and we hear from the fighters 1,000 times what that feels like. Jackie, what's that like? I mean, run us through Fight Week. What's it like when you know your husband's about to ultimately, I mean, as much as it's a sport, he's going to fight somebody.
It's hardcore, hey. Like the week before, it doesn't really affect me because I kind of give Wentzel his space so that he can, process the fight in his mind and go through all that. So Troyden and I sort of like take a back step, and when
Come
here, boy.
then. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
And then on fight night, weigh-in, then they're standing and they, meet each other there at weigh-in, and then that's a bit stressful. My heart starts, beating faster and stuff. And then after that, I'm fine and I relax because obviously Wentzel's got to prepare the night before. And on fight night, I'm fine until his song starts playing. Then I start I don't know how to sit still, and I'm fidgety and I need to, my hands are going. Everybody's like, just relax, it's just a fight. I'm like, but you don't understand, that's my husband. He's going to get in the ring there now. But yeah, it's crazy. And then as soon as it starts going, obviously, I know how hard he prepares. So win or lose, I'm proud of him because I know he's put the work in. But yeah, it's quite a ball of emotions.
What's he like a week before the fight? Honestly, here we go. I know we're taking a step here, but be honest. Come on.
Wentzel's he's a very chatty guy, very happy guy. The week before the fight, he's quiet, dead quiet. He doesn't focus. I could tell him that I was taking his credit card and going to go shopping and buy everything in the shop. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't know. He's so focused on that fight that he's totally different. He's very quiet, very in his own thoughts, and it's very different to what I'm used to because he's always joking and that's Wentzel. But a little bit moods come in because obviously he works full time and there's a lot of training and he's a bit moody and snappy. But I just write it off because I know it's only because it's big fights. He's at the level now where it's not just he's going to go fight, and it's he fought for especially the title fight with Leo. I mean, there was a lot of pressure. It was a really big fight, and we knew how good Leo was. So, and we had to prepare also to lose for that fight. So together we sat and we prepared for that. But the moods come, and but we just deal with it. And luckily, it's not that bad. So it's okay.
What was the first thing that you said to him when you spoke to him face to face after winning the belt?
I kissed him first,
Yeah.
and I just said to him that I was proud of him. I really am proud of him for how far he's come. When Wentzel puts his mind to something, he does achieve whatever he sets his mind to, and